Hey guys, what's up? So I just wanted to kind of make like a rant video, not so much like a rant, but like a discussion video about where Destiny is now and how much of a change we're gonna see over the next month or so, with it being roughly a month until Lightfall comes out. I wanted to mark this moment in history because, well, suffice to say, there is a tidal wave of changes coming in Nightfall, and the impact is yet to be seen on how it will ultimately affect Destiny overall. So without further ado, let's get into it. So without mentioning like all of the changes, because there are a lot, 801 is going to be turned into Shada 1. Yes, I know it's a very bad pun, but for players who don't have a majority of shaders that are no longer acquirable from their activities, there's some Escalation Protocol shaders I've seen here, ones that were from Titan and Io, which those planets aren't in the game anymore, New Monarchy, Future War Cult, Dead Orbit shaders. Factions are no longer a part of the game, not to mention Black Armory shaders. Even I played during the time when those shaders were available to get, but I don't think I have all of these anyways, so it's nice for some players who maybe missed that specific shader during a specific time, or for players who just played after those shaders were available. Not to mention that Zavala will have the inability to focus Vanguard weapons and armors. Umbros are getting thrown out the window for seasonal engrams. It's 7 in the morning and I'm on light sleep, so my pronunciation might be a little bit off. But anyways, you get the idea. There's a lot of change coming here. Economy changes, quality of life changes, not to mention, that loadouts will be entering the game for people who either can't or do not use third-party programs like Ishtar, Collective, or DIM, which if you don't use those, I highly recommend them. Not to mention that Gambit focusing will be a thing as well, even though it's already a thing now, but I think they're adding weapons, or they're adding armor to it as well. Iron Banner focusing. You'll have Legacy as well as armor focusing. Trials as well, which you already kind of have that. It's really expensive, and lowering the cost is also something that's nice. I think for Crucible, Gambit, and Vanguard, it requires an engram, 5,000 Glimmer, and 25 legendary shards. For Trials, Iron Banner, or Nightfalls, an engram, 20,000 Glimmer, and only 50 legendary shards. And then for Trials of Osiris, Adept, and Nightfall Adept weapons, engram, 50,000 Glimmer, 50 legendary shards, and of course a 7-win Trials ticket, or Adept Nightfall ciphers, which I guess are bringing ciphers back as well. It's hard to keep up with these changes for any normal human being who has a day-to-day life. Even for me, someone who has, especially right now, more time to focus on this, it's also difficult. But I guess you won't need a flawless ticket anymore to get Adept Trials weapons, which is nice for people who can't go flawless or either don't want to. So you just need a 7-win card, and then you can focus an Adept weapon, which is nice. And this is just from the TWAB that came out this week. I'm sure there's more to come, right? Which is beautiful, and it's nice that Bungie is finally doing a lot of these changes that they're necessary. Not to mention blues, right? The ability to have blues completely, and by that I mean like blue gear completely removed from the loot pool is nice, because I don't know how many times when I was Sherpaing a friend. She had to go and clear her vault like 5 times while we were doing, I think, Nightfalls or something. And it's annoying, right? Like, inventory management is, you can spend a lot of time doing that, whether it's cleaning out your vault or cleaning out your postmaster, or, you have duplicates of guns that you can craft, and like, why would you have duplicates of guns that you can craft when you can just craft the roll that you want? It's a lot. So blues removing blue gear from just dropping after a certain point of leveling it will save you a lot of time in the long run, and of course, they are fixing it in the economy so that, the glimmer and legendary shards that you would get from dismantling that blue gear, you'll still get it, right? It's small things that really, you don't think matter, but in the grand scheme of things, matter a lot more than you would actually think. Something else I wanted to creep into this video is expectations for Lightfall, and I think they're really high right now, based on conversations I've had with friends, clanmates, and from what I've seen in the community. And it kind of should be, right? Because even Witch Queen was somewhat affected by world events that transpired over the past couple of years, and Lightfall may very well be the first expansion that we see is affected by the increased manpower and financial gains that Bungie has had, especially, the partnership with Sony, although it's pretty easy to see that maybe Lightfall isn't what that partnership was part of, but certainly any resources they got from that deal, this might be the first time we're seeing that, and it's a good thing. If you remember, if any Destiny players remember anyways, when Destiny 2 first came out, because of the partnership with Activision, they had the ability to default certain things to other developers, and that gave them more time to focus on other activities, right? So like they had their manpower divvied up. So like Bungie employees were working on campaign, High Moon Studios employees were doing raid stuff or whatever, and that kind of made things easier. The partnership with Sony could have a similar effect. That might be in some other way. That's just an example that I can think of. But again, we won't really know until Lightfall comes out. And I feel like this always pops up. Like every time a new expansion comes out, it's excuse my mouse clicks, but it's like, oh, this is supposed to be Destiny 3. And I don't know if that's true or not. And even then, like, it's still gonna be vastly different anyways. But it is nice to see, again, these changes. They look promising. I only went over like half of them anyways, so I can Grandmaster changes. That's something that just happened. The ability for everyone to use armor mods, right? Not to mention that Iron Banner is going to get some reputation bonuses. They're going to be doing it more often, so that people have less FOMO about stuff like Iron Banner, which is nice. Matchmaking, Crucible, that's still an issue. But I've ranted long enough for this video. I always like to say, and I say this to my friends, and it may make me seem like someone who doesn't have any joy and doesn't want to experience the hype of a new expansion. But I like to temper my expectations if I can. I mean, I can't help myself. I'm excited about Lightfall, regardless. But I know that it's never going to meet the expectation that I have for the perfect DLC. Now, could it be really close? Yeah. Will it be exactly what I think it should be, or what you think it should be, or what XYZ Destiny Chad player thinks, D1 Alpha Vet thinks it should be? No. So at the end of the day, you just have to, if you bought it or you're going to buy it, you're thinking about it, just, find something you enjoy about it, whatever. And just to touch on how the servers have been touching the past few days. Listen, Bungie's not perfect, and I think that it's the perfect example of how Lightfall might not be your cup of tea, or it might not be what you're expecting. Sometimes the servers aren't always going to be up to snuff, and it happens to the best game developers and the worst. So, there's no discrimination in that regard, and Bungie, you guys, whoever, had to stay overnight to fix the servers or to help fix, you people are, I don't mean you people in a bad way, but you guys are saints, and, thank you, even though I was, not planning to play Destiny this weekend anyways that much, for the people who were, I'm sure they're infinitely grateful, as am I, because it's good to know that, they can get on it that quickly and fix server issues. Anyways, let me know what you guys are expecting in Nightfall. Let me know how excited you are, if you're excited at all, if you've pre-ordered. Also, let me know what your favorite change that's coming in Nightfall is at this point. Also, subscribe if you could. A lot of people who watch my videos, you're not subscribed. It's not a bad thing. Your view is enough for me, but if you can, like and subscribe, that'd be appreciated. Peace out.